Have you ever wondered what really happens when the financial world seems to collapse overnight? When the headlines scream about trillions vanishing from the market, when your portfolio nosedives, or when friends and family start to panic, where does all that money go? Does it simply evaporate, sucked into some black hole, never to return? Or is there another story, one that most people never hear and even fewer truly understand? Let's get one thing straight from the outset. Recessions don't destroy wealth. They move it. They redistribute it. And unless you know how the game is played, unless you're prepared, you're not just a bystander, you're a target. If you want to make sure you're not the one getting wiped out, you need to understand who loses in a recession, why it happens, and most importantly, how you can stand strong while others fall. Welcome to a wake-up call. Welcome to the place where future millionaires come to learn how to survive, thrive, and build real wealth, no matter what storms roll in. Let's start by shattering the biggest myth of all. When you hear the phrase, trillions wiped off the market, it's easy to picture stacks of cash burning, vaults emptied, or fortunes disappearing into thin air. But that's not how it works. Money, price, and value. Three words used interchangeably by the masses, but they're not the same. Money is the measuring stick, the ruler we use to compare things. Price is just a number, an agreement between a buyer and a seller at a particular moment in time. But value? Value is belief. It's the collective faith of millions, maybe billions, that something is worth what we say it is. And belief is fragile. When fear enters the room, belief can vanish in an instant, and with it, value. You didn't lose money in the last crash. You lost confidence. And in a world built on belief, when confidence goes, everything else comes crashing down with it. The biggest mistake people make is believing that the number in their bank account, the value on their portfolio statement, is real and unshakable. But when belief dies, those numbers mean nothing. Your money is only as safe as the collective confidence behind it. Guard your confidence like your life depends on it, because financially it does. Let's talk about the first group that gets wiped out. The emotional decision makers. Fear is not a strategy. Panic is not protection. Emotion is the enemy of wealth. When the news turns grim, when the markets turn red, when the world seems to be falling apart, emotional decision makers are the first to lose. They sell their stocks at the bottom, desperate to cut their losses. They make rash career moves, abandoning solid ground for what they hope is safer territory. They chase after get-rich-quick schemes, hoping for a miracle. Let me give you a real story. A friend of mine, years of careful saving, a solid retirement fund, gone in a moment of panic. The day the pandemic hit the markets, he dumped his entire portfolio. "It's all over," he said. "I'm cutting my losses." 3 months later, the market rebounded and hit all-time highs. He lost $60,000, not because the system failed, but because he did. The lesson? In moments of chaos, the calm make money. Everyone else pays them to do it. Slow down. Zoom out. Ask yourself, does this decision serve my long-term vision, or am I just reacting to fear? Next up, the reckless risk-takers. You've heard the saying, no risk, no reward. And it's true, to a point. But blind risk is just slow-motion self-destruction. Risk-takers convince themselves they're smarter than the market, until the market proves them wrong. It starts with a little dabble in crypto, a little more, and suddenly every paycheck is going into the same coin that's about to explode. That explosion? It's a detonation, and they're standing right on top of it. The truth is, risk isn't the enemy, concentration is. Diversify. Always. Use the barbell strategy. Keep 80% of your wealth in safe, boring, long-term bets. Use the other 20% for high-risk, high-reward plays you can afford to lose. Never go all in, no matter how good it feels. The market doesn't care about your excitement. It punishes the overconfident. Then there are the debt addicts. Debt is a double-edged sword. In good times, it builds empires. In bad times, it buries them. The 2008 financial crisis taught the world a harsh lesson. Millions lost their homes, not because they were irresponsible, but because they borrowed more than they could repay, convinced the good times would never end. Sound familiar? Debt doesn't care about your plans. It only cares about payments. Never take on debt based on optimism. Only take it on based on realism. If you can't service your debt during a 6-month downturn, you've over-leveraged. Want to use debt wisely? Ask yourself, will this debt generate cash flow? Can it survive an income hit? Can I sleep peacefully at night knowing I owe this? If the answer isn't a resounding yes, walk away. But what about the experts? The over-specialized professionals? Being great at one thing is valuable, until that one thing is no longer needed. Recessions punish the rigid. If your job, your business, or your skill set is tied to a single outcome, you're playing Russian roulette with your future. Imagine a gaming engineer who only knows one obscure coding language. When the industry cuts back, they're out and unemployable. The most valuable skill isn't coding or marketing or sales. It's adaptability. Learn how to learn. Know how to pick up new skills fast. Apply them in multiple industries. Reinvent yourself when needed. That's your recession insurance. Let's not forget the underprepared saver. Maybe you've got $100,000 in the bank. You think you're safe. But most recessions last 10 months. If your expenses are $5,000 a month, your 6-figure cushion lasts less than 2 years, assuming there are no emergencies. Real wealth isn't just having savings. It's having a plan. Build a safety net, then build a system. 12 months of living expenses. Passive income streams that grow over time. Investment strategies that beat inflation. If saving is your whole plan, you're building on sand. And what about the asset-rich, cash-poor? On paper, you're wealthy. But when the bills come due, you've got no liquidity. Real estate, equipment, business assets, they're great until you need cash tomorrow and no one's buying. Liquidity is king in a crisis. You can't sell a factory fast. You can't flip a warehouse overnight. Build a war chest. Keep 20 to 30% of your net worth in liquid assets. Enough cash to cover 12 to 18 months of operations. Access to emergency credit before you need it. Cash isn't lazy. It's life support when the economy flatlines. So, who survives? Who are the ones who come out the other side stronger, richer, and better prepared for the next storm? It's the people who prepared before the storm hit. Dual income households, low debt, high savings, diversified income, solid investments. They don't panic, they pivot. They don't shrink, they strike. While others crumble, they look for opportunity. They buy undervalued assets. They start businesses with low startup costs. They double down on skills that will be in demand when the crisis ends. Recessions don't break everyone. They break the unprepared and reward the ready. Now let's turn the spotlight on you. Let this be your wake-up call. Don't wait to be replaced, broken, or buried by a crisis. The time to build resilience is before the chaos. Ask yourself, if I lost my job tomorrow, how long would I last? If the market dropped 40%, would I sell, or would I buy more? If I had to start from scratch, what skills or resources would I fall back on? Build your financial life around those answers. Recessions aren't rare. They're recurring, predictable, and inevitable. But disaster is only a disaster if you're not ready. You don't have to be a victim. You don't have to be the one who gets wiped out. Here's what you need to do, starting today. First, build a foundation of unshakable confidence. Remember, money is belief. When you let fear run your decisions, you hand your wealth to someone else. Stay calm, stay rational. When others panic, you stay steady. Second, diversify your risks. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments, your skills, your income streams. The more sources of income you have, the less vulnerable you are to any single failure. Third, manage your debt with ruthless discipline. Only take on debt you can service in the worst-case scenario. Use debt to build cash flow, not just to buy things that look good on paper. Fourth, stay adaptable. The world changes fast. Industries rise and fall. Technologies come and go. The people who survive are the ones who can learn new skills, pivot to new opportunities, and reinvent themselves when necessary. Fifth, make sure you have real liquidity. It's not enough to be rich on paper. You need cash or access to cash when things go wrong. Build a war chest. Keep enough liquid assets to cover your living expenses and business costs for at least a year. Have emergency credit lines in place before you need them. Sixth, move beyond just saving. Build a plan that includes passive income, investments that outpace inflation, and a strategy for long-term growth. Savings alone won't protect you from a long downturn. Seventh, look for opportunity in crisis. The greatest fortunes are made in recessions, not by those who panic, but by those who are ready to act. Buy undervalued assets. Start businesses that solve real problems. Invest in yourself and your skills. Eighth, build a support system. Dual-income households are more resilient. Communities that help each other survive better than individuals going it alone. Build relationships, networks, and partnerships that can help you weather the storm. Finally, remember that the storm is always coming. Recessions aren't a matter of if, but when. The question isn't whether you'll face hard times. The question is whether you'll be ready when they arrive. If you've listened this far, consider this your call to action. Don't just think about financial freedom. Start building it now, because the next recession won't wait for your permission. It won't send you a warning. It will just arrive. And you'll either be ready or you'll be one of the many who get wiped out. So, what will you do today to recession-proof your life? Will you keep hoping for the best, or will you start preparing for the worst? Will you let fear dictate your actions, or will you build the confidence, the skills, and the systems that will carry you through any storm? Remember, recessions don't destroy wealth. They transfer it. The only question is, will you be the one who gets wiped out, or the one who walks away smarter, richer, and ready for anything? It's time to wake up. It's time to gear up. It's time to rise above. Don't wait for the storm to pass. Learn how to dance in the rain. Stay sharp, stay resilient, stay wealthy. And remember, this is your chance. The storm is always coming. Make sure you're the one holding the umbrella. If you've made it this far, consider this your wake-up call. It's time to stop sitting on the sidelines, watching others build their wealth, and start taking action for yourself. Financial freedom isn't a distant dream reserved for the lucky few. It's a reality you can create, starting right now. The truth is, the next recession won't wait for you to feel ready. It won't ask for your permission. It won't send you a polite warning before it shakes the foundations of your financial life. It will simply arrive, and those who are prepared will weather the storm, while those who aren't may find themselves struggling to stay afloat. So, what can you do today to begin recession-proofing your life? The first step is to shift your mindset. Stop consuming endless content about wealth building and start applying what you learn. Knowledge without action is just potential energy. It's only when you put that knowledge into practice that you generate real results. Ask yourself, what's the one thing you can do right now to move closer to financial security? Maybe it's starting a side hustle, cutting unnecessary expenses, or finally setting up that emergency fund. The path to wealth is paved with small, consistent actions taken every single day. Building multiple streams of income is no longer just a nice-to-have, it's a necessity. Relying on a single source of income is risky, especially in uncertain economic times. Think about ways you can diversify. Can you monetize a skill you already have? Can you invest in assets that generate passive income? Whether it's freelancing, investing in stocks, or starting an online business, the options are endless. The key is to start somewhere, no matter how small. Each new stream of income is like an additional pillar supporting your financial house, making it stronger and more resilient to whatever comes your way. But building wealth isn't just about making more money. It's also about protecting what you already have. Review your expenses and identify areas where you can cut back without sacrificing your quality of life. Set clear financial goals and track your progress. Automate your savings so you're consistently putting money aside for the future, no matter what happens. And don't forget to invest in yourself. The more skills you develop, the more valuable you become in any job market, recession or not. Remember, recessions don't destroy wealth, they transfer it. During economic downturns, money doesn't vanish, it simply changes hands. The question is, will you be among those who lose out? Or will you position yourself to benefit from the opportunities that arise? History shows that many of the world's wealthiest people built their fortunes during times of crisis. They saw what others missed, took calculated risks, and acted decisively when others hesitated. You can do the same, but only if you start preparing now. Take a moment to reflect. What's the one thing you'll do today to recession-proof your life? Will you finally create that budget you've been meaning to set up? Will you reach out to a mentor or join a community of like-minded individuals who can support your growth? Will you start learning about investing, even if it feels intimidating at first? Whatever it is, commit to taking action. Write it down, set a deadline, and hold yourself accountable. Progress is made one step at a time, and every action you take brings you closer to financial freedom. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the uncertainty of the economy or the sheer amount of information out there. But remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Focus on making steady progress and celebrate your wins along the way. The journey to wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be setbacks, but resilience is built in the face of adversity. Stay sharp, stay focused, and keep moving forward. And don't go it alone. Surround yourself with people who are also committed to building wealth and thriving, no matter the economic climate. Share your goals, learn from each other's experiences, and hold each other accountable. Wealth is not just about money, it's about freedom, security, and the ability to live life on your own terms. When you build a strong financial foundation, you gain the confidence to weather any storm and the freedom to pursue your passions. So, as you move forward, remember this. We don't wait for the storm to pass. We learn how to dance in the rain. Economic downturns are inevitable, but they don't have to define your future. With the right mindset, strategies, and support, you can not only survive a recession, but come out stronger and wealthier on the other side. Take control of your financial destiny today. Start building, start growing, and start believing in your ability to create the life you want. The next chapter of your financial journey begins now. Stay sharp, stay resilient, stay wealthy. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button. It tells YouTube this is worth sharing. Subscribe to Grow Up Wealth for weekly videos on how to survive a recession, build multiple income streams, and take back control of your financial future. And turn on the notification bell, because the next video might just be the one that saves you from making a six-figure mistake. Drop a comment. What's the one thing you'll do today to recession-proof your life? Remember, recessions don't destroy wealth, they transfer it. So the real question is, will you be the one who gets wiped out, or the one who walks away smarter, richer, and ready for anything? This is Grow Up Wealth. We don't wait for the storm to pass. We learn how to dance in the rain. We'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay resilient, stay wealthy.